Hi, and welcome to the Celiac and the Frog. I am the Frog. In this episode, we're going to look at 2 meal prepping strategies for healthy, nutritious, portable, quick, easy breakfast solutions. Now, I usually eat breakfast within about an hour to an hour and a half after waking up. So oftentimes that means that I may already be out of the house, I may be on the road, so I may need to take that with me. The 2 strategies that we're going to talk about in this episode are a protein fruit smoothie and egg muffins. Together, what I'm going to show you takes only about 30 minutes. And again, we do this generally on Sunday afternoon or Sunday night. Now, I'll put the final numbers down in the description for the nutrition facts. And primarily what I'm looking at is sugar, saturated fat, cholesterol, protein, fiber, carbs, those kinds of things. All right, so let's start our shake. I usually start with my strawberries, and I buy frozen strawberries. We really like Publix, so I usually get the frozen strawberries. This is a 4-pound bag. You may ask, well, why do you use frozen strawberries? Honestly, for the cost. The fresh strawberries are so much more expensive. These will last me. That 4-pound bag will make about a week and a half to 2 weeks worth of shakes. So it's pure cost. Once you grind them up, honestly, in in the shake, you can't tell if they're fresh or frozen. So a serving is a cup. I don't always use a full serving of every single ingredient. So that's up to you. So you can see about what I've got there. That's probably right at a cup, maybe just under a cup of strawberries. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm making 4 today. The reason I'm making 4 is because I have 4 shaker bottles. If I had 5, I would make 5. I'm doing this for my entire week. So I'm going to be on the road all week. I'm going to basically be eating out of a cooler. We'll be keeping this stuff cold all week. So I've got 4 shaker bottles, and you pick these up anywhere, and we'll talk about those again in a minute. But so I'm making 4 shakes back to back. All right, so the next thing is my banana. So just cut the banana up, kind of shake it down just a little bit. All right, the next thing I put in is my oatmeal. So I use, and I've told you I'm gluten-free, so I use gluten-free oatmeal. This is Red Mill brand, quick cooking rolled oats. Sometimes I'll eat this in a bowl, cook it in the microwave. But I found that adding it to my shake does really good for texture. It thickens it up. It makes it a little more hearty. I can't taste the oatmeal. You may think, oatmeal in a milkshake? Are you kidding? But I can't taste it at all. But I like the oatmeal because we need whole grain. We need the fiber. There's a lot of benefit here. I don't put a ton in because of the carb side. There is a little bit of carb here. 31 grams is 11% of the daily value. Not terrible, but I'm not using an entire serving either. So I bet those numbers would be a little bit lower. So the next thing is my protein powder. Let me add this and then I'll show you. I do about a scoop and a 1/4 scoop, not quite a scoop and a half. So the serving size on this particular brand is 2 scoops, but I don't put quite that much. One, it helps it go further for money's sake. And then the other reason, I don't necessarily need that much protein. Remember, I'm doing the eggs and the turkey bacon along with it. So this is the Orgain brand. It's organic protein. It's not whey protein. We try to watch how much dairy that we do in our house. The Celiac, the princess, my lovely bride, she has to be dairy-free as well, so we try to minimize that household-wide anyway. But this is a protein powder I use, again, anywhere from a scoop and a quarter to a scoop and a half. Kind of a heaping scoop is what I use on this. My last 2 ingredients are chia seeds and flax seeds. And the serving size here is a tablespoon for both of those. I don't use that much either. So again, I told you I don't do a serving per ingredient. I try to keep it a little bit light. Again, it helps my ingredients to be to stretch out a little bit, makes it a little bit more economical. But the flax seeds and the chia seeds are really good for fiber. So again, I just kind of sprinkle on top. I don't measure it out. I've kind of just figured out what I like, what meets my need for the shake. Next is our milk. So this is almond milk, silk brown almond milk. So I don't fill the container up here. I like to shake some of this down just a little bit. And what I'll do is I'll fill it about halfway. So I'll put a little bit in there. Again, I don't measure it because I've done this enough. And if you decide to adopt this, you'll figure it out. So if you shake it down a little bit, I usually try to go about halfway up my ingredients here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Get it in a little bit closer. So my milk's up about right there, and I still got a little bit on top. I could shake it down just a little bit. It gives me a little bit better. So it's up about right there now. So, and then what I do the rest of the way, I fill the rest of the way up with water. So I've got right much liquid, you can see there. So looking down in it, right, it's pretty runny. I like it that way. I don't like it super thick. One thing that helps with is when I get it in my shaker bottles here, especially if I'm traveling, it's not so thick that I can't turn it up and drink it, whether I'm at a rest area or if I'm at wherever my destination is for that day, whatever the case may be. I don't have to add water to it and everything. So I keep it a little more on the runny side from the beginning. All right, contact. Now we're ready to pour. So I'll show you the consistency. See, it's pretty runny, not terribly thick. Couple of strawberries didn't completely grind up. That's okay too. I don't mind it a little chunky. So with those ingredients, she's about full. So what I do is I add water up to the 24 ounce level in this particular blender. And that works. And again, I've done this enough, I've kind of figured it out, but I run the water, I bring my water level up just past that 24 ounce, and it gives me a full shaker bottle. All right, I pop that bad boy in the refrigerator and she's ready to hit the road. Now we do it 3 more times. So I really like these, I call them shaker bottles. Some people call them blender bottles. The brand name on this one is Blender Bottle. So I really like those. They do well. I've got a little cooler that I take with me on the road. These do really well in those. They've got the little spiral wire piece that drops down in there so that when you shake it up, it helps to agitate, and anything that's settled in the bottom helps to kind of get it mixed up back up in there. Again, I'm making these for 3 or 4 days worth this week. So that helps because it will settle. You could pick these up about anywhere, some of your specialty grocery stores. I think I got one of these at Whole Foods. I got one at Sprouts. I picked one up at Target. I've picked them up along the way as I've needed them. So like I said, I have 4 of them. That usually does pretty well for the numbers of days that I potentially might be on the road in a given week. Wegmans. If you have a Wegmans near you, I picked one up at Wegmans also. Thank you. So to get us started, we've got our muffin pan, and I use silicone muffin cups, and I'll show you those. They're reusable, which makes cooking and doing these egg muffins, yeah, you have to clean them, but you don't have to constantly buy the little paper muffin cups. So we'll put these in here and arrange those. So we'll cut up our turkey bacon into the cups, and it's actually going to cook while the eggs are cooking. And I put I'm just kind of slicing off, these are pretty big slices. I just kind of about halfway fill up the muffin cups with the turkey bacon. What this does is add some extra protein. So we're getting protein out of the eggs, but we're also getting some extra protein from the turkey bacon. And another thing that the turkey bacon does, it gives this a little flavor. If you're not crazy about the taste of eggs, then just a solid egg muffin might not be your favorite thing taste-wise. So the turkey bacon for me really does good. I don't mind the taste of eggs. It's one of those things though that day after day, and I eat these generally every day during the week. So I have really enjoyed the extra flavor from the turkey bacon. And it's not super strong, but it's strong enough for me. This is 4 or 5 big pieces of turkey bacon. So if you decide to do something else besides this, you may just have to play with it and gauge how much you put into each cup, or overall how much you put into the recipe. So you can see here we're doing 12. This is a 12 muffin tin here. So we're doing 12 egg muffins. So I've got all of my turkey bacon cut up into my cups. So now we're going to start with our eggs. So I've got 15 eggs to do 12 muffins. So I've worked out, I've done this enough, I do it every week. So I've got 15 eggs to do 12 muffins. But in those 15, I only use 5 yolks. So I've got the whites of 15, but only 5 yolks out of that 15. And the reason that I do that, one, I need protein. That's what I'm after here, is protein for the egg muffins. But what I don't want is the cholesterol that comes in the yolks. For some people, that's not a big deal. I've told you in other videos, I've got a cholesterol issue. It's not super high. I'm not on medicine, but I don't want to be on medicine. So I back way off on the yolks to keep my cholesterol down. A lot of people would argue there's a lot of vitamins and minerals, and a lot of the nutrients are in the yolks, and that's true. But again, there's cholesterol there too. So let's get to cracking our eggs. And so we got all our eggs done here, our whites, our yolks. So we're just going to whip them up a little bit here. So I brought you in here a little closer, and I'll show you. I use a bowl that's got a little bit of a spout. Hopefully you can see it built into it. So it helps me to pour it a little bit better. So what I try not to do is get any overrun, any spillage outside of those silicone cups, and it helps keep my muffin pan a whole lot cleaner. I like that. Makes this whole process a lot easier. So I just fill them up. I usually fill them about, just by sight, about 90% full my first time around, and usually I'll have a little bit extra and I'll go back and top them off. So as the eggs settle down into the turkey bacon, it'll kind of fill in the void spaces and things like that. So there'll be a couple that I'll have to go back and top. So again, 15 eggs does really, really well with this amount of turkey bacon that I've got. And what this does, along with my shake, I'll have these, I may have them early in the morning, I may have them late in the morning. And for those of you who know, if you know, you know, I'll have my first breakfast and second breakfast. So I'll let my eggs be my first and my shake be my second, or the other way around. And that usually works out pretty well. That carries me usually till about 1:30 in the afternoon. So sometimes I can get by with just a snack to get me through the day, get me back home, that kind of thing. I usually use this as an on-the-road type of a situation. It works really well. I travel in my regular job. That one's going to spill. I got too much in there because I'm jabbering trying to do this. I travel a lot in my regular job, and being able to meal prep, to be able to get this stuff set, grab it on the way out the door is really nice. I don't have to worry about fixing something in the mornings. Yeah, they're all pretty full. I'm gonna discard probably about a half an egg, but that's okay, no problem. All right, so let's get you back up here. All right, so we got my oven preheated to 350. So what I do is 350 for 35 minutes roughly. And this is a gas oven. So what I do is I spin them about halfway through. It helps them to get a little more done. So I just rotate 180 degrees, rotate the pan in there 180 degrees about halfway through. So let's get them in the oven. 350 for about 35 minutes. Let's check these bad boys out. Oh yeah, they're in good shape. So you can see just a little golden brown on top. You certainly don't want to burn them, but you can see how neat those silicone muffin cups do. I really like this. I've been really pleased. So what I'll do is let these cool for about 15 or 20 minutes. I found that if I'll take the muffins out of those silicone cups while they're still warm, there's almost no residue left. The egg completely releases from that silicone, makes the cleanup a whole lot easier. So I'll usually pack these in something like this, and I'll stick them in the refrigerator and eat on them throughout the day. I work from home, so that's easy for me to do. But when I'm on the road, I can just transfer them to a smaller container for each day. I usually have 2 in the morning, again, either as my first breakfast or second breakfast. And with the protein shake, that easily gets me to lunch. A lot of times with just a small snack, I'll be well past lunch, well into the afternoon. Hey, thanks for being with us. I'd like to invite you to like the video. Just click the little thumbs up down there at the bottom. We invite you to subscribe to the channel, to Celiac and the Frog. You can ring the little bell to get notified for future content that we may put up. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time.